Let's start with one that shocked me, and that is Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, from her debut album She's So Unusual, which was predominantly made up of cover songs. This song is regarded as a feminist anthem and associated so strongly with Cyndi Lauper that it's even more shocking that the original is by a man, Robert Hazard. In contrast to Lauper's pop arrangement, Hazard's version is more in the vein of new wave punk. Hazard's version talks about the promiscuity of women despite his desire to have a meaningful relationship, but Cyndi Lauper's version changes the genders to provide a female perspective on external pressures. Lauper's version is also one of the 400 or so videos on YouTube with over 1 billion views. Speaking of gender perspectives, the song If I Were a Boy by Beyonce is surprisingly also a cover. It was originally written by BC Jean for her solo album, but it was rejected by her record company, after which her writing partner went out to see if he could market any of the songs to other artists. After hearing this, Beyonce liked the song and decided to record it, which reportedly upset Jean, and eventually the two reached an agreement to record a duet for Jean's album in exchange for the song. However, the duet is yet to materialize. This iconic Latin rock pop has been making people dance for over 50 years now, and is one of Santana's most famous tunes from the early years of the band's catalog. The original, however, is by Tito Puente, the Puerto Rican band leader who helped popularize Cuban and Caribbean music in the 1950s. This song is from 1962 and features a more traditional Latin orchestral arrangement compared to the guitars and organs in Santana's arrangement. However, this wasn't the only cover of Santana's 1970 album. Another huge Santana tune, Black Magic Woman, is also a cover.
Got a black magic woman. Got a black magic woman. I've got a black magic woman. Got me so blind I can't see.
The original was written and released as a standalone single by Fleetwood Mac, and did moderately well, but is not even close to the popularity of some of their other songs like Dreams and Go Your Own Way. So a lot of people don't know that Santana's version is a cover.
Got a black magic woman. Got a black magic woman. Yes, I got a black magic woman. Got me so blind I can't see.
Some of you might be familiar with Muse's cover of the song Feeling Good from their album Origin of Symmetry. This is a cover of Nina Simone's Feeling Good, which is arguably her most popular song, but Simone's version is also a cover.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel.
Recorded in the midst of the civil rights movement in the US, this powerful anthem of emancipation and freedom from oppression was released on Simone's 1965 album I Put a Spell on You. It was not a single and the album wasn't wildly successful at the time, but the song appears to have got a second wind in the 90s when it was used in a Volkswagen commercial, and again later with the countless covers that have been released since then. The original comes from a musical called The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd, and was written by composers Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricusse, who worked on a range of successful movie soundtracks such as Goldfinger, Superman, and Dr. Dolittle. The first performance was by Cy Grant, and he later made this recording of the song with pianist Bill Lesage.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel.
One of the biggest and most influential rock bands of all time, Led Zeppelin were partial to a few covers during their career. In 1967, singer-songwriter Jake Holmes was a support act for the Yardbirds, whose members included future Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page at the time. In his set, Jake Holmes played a folk rock rendition of his tune, Dazed and Confused.
It's all fun to a certain degree, but this one's no fun 'cause the secret's on me.
Jimmy Page loved the song, and it became a regular part of the Yardbirds' live gigs. They also recorded a live version for the BBC, which showcased the much heavier and more brooding arrangement.
Secrets are fun to a certain degree. This one's no fun 'cause the secret's on me.
Later, the Yardbirds split up, and Page decided to propose the song to go on the debut album of his new band, Led Zeppelin. Singer Robert Plant wrote new lyrics and changed the vocals significantly to make the song even more dramatic, and the band added significant improvisational sections to craft one of the most popular songs off of their 1969 debut album.
Don't know where you're going, only know just where you've been. Sweet little baby, I want you again.
Page never credited Jake Holmes, and he didn't see a penny from the success of the track until he filed a lawsuit over 40 years later, which was ultimately settled out of court. We spoke about Big Mountain's reggae-influenced cover of Baby I Love Your Way in a previous episode, but this is an even more famous reggae-influenced pop tune, Red Red Wine by UB40.
Red, red wine, stay close to me.
If you didn't realize this was a cover, don't feel bad, as apparently the band had only heard Jamaican artist Tony Tribe's 1969 ska version before deciding to make their light-hearted reggae version, and didn't realize that it was actually by Neil Diamond.
Red, red wine, go to my head.
Now, speaking of covers, you should definitely check out our Connect the Songs game, where we try to find the connections between a series of songs and their artists. They could be covers, they could be samples, or maybe the connections involve some juicy drama. Either way, go check it out now, it's right there on the screen, and I'll see you next time on Mixed Signals. Bye bye!
It's up